Okay, welcome back, creatures of the night, for the next installment of our look back at the Undertaker and Batista rivalry. You've been with us at the beginning from Royal Rumble 2007, where the Undertaker won his chance to fight for a championship of his choosing at WrestleMania. You've been with us in the next installment at No Way Out, where WrestleMania opponents were forced to coincide with each other as Raw took on SmackDown with Shawn Michaels and John Cena against Batista and The Undertaker. And that leads us right up to today, where Keegan joins me again to take a look back at WrestleMania 23, where The Undertaker and Batista fight for the World Heavyweight Championship in Detroit, Michigan. And I am so looking forward to this one, Keegan, and I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, it was right across the border from where I live, so it holds a little bit of sentimental value.
Yeah. Did you watch this you said they did a lot of the WrestleManias in the theaters. Did you do it in the theater? Did you watch it on pay-per-view?
On pay-per-view. I was 6 years old when this happened, and I remember it so vividly. This was the one match that stuck out to me on the card.
Yeah.
Taker and Batista.
Yeah.
Again, should have went on last, but.
And you said it right there. I know we'll probably get to it as we get through the match itself, but it's definitely the main event of the evening. Much like Undertaker versus CM Punk, a match that should have went on last on the card, a match that people are looking forward to the most on the card. But of course, it falls in the middle of the card where it should have main evented because
well, they learned what
what did you say?
They learned with Taker and Edge at 24 to put that on last.
Yeah.
No one can throw that on in the middle of the card, right?
Yeah. That's as Undertaker has recounted the story of Batista after this match. He goes into the locker room and screams, "Top that," to the rest of the people, because Batista was so adamant to get this to main event. And you can see why. The match is amazing from start to finish, tells a great story between these two, and a story that is not finished after this, as we will get to in our journey afterwards. We have like 5 or 6 more matches from here that this roller coaster of a rivalry takes us through. But this is my favorite match of all of them. WrestleMania 23, it's always nostalgic for me, holds a special place in my heart, and I just can't wait to start. How about you?
I can't wait. I've watched this match more times than I can count, but it never gets old. It's a sprint match. I mean, it's just so fast paced. It goes by so fast, and just big move after big move. But it's, again, like you said, it still tells a good story. So, but there's no like resting period in the match either. It just keeps going, going and going. So.
Really brilliant. So Keegan, you are queued up on the network.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You make me jealous every time. But I am queued up on Peacock. We are both queued up at 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 15 seconds. Perfect timing, because Undertaker goes 15-0 here at this WrestleMania. So, and we count down from 3, and we are ready to hit play. So 3, 2, 1, play. Get that awesome graphics here of WrestleMania 23, the matchup.
Even the promo packages were so good back then.
Yeah. Something WWE always does good. Even to this day, they do great promo packages. But I miss the ones leading up to WrestleMania when they have these big WrestleMania fight feels. These promo packages always made it.
Every match felt huge when it had a promo package. And I don't know, for some reason, like these promo packages from back then hold some kind of nostalgia to me. They just always have. I don't know if it's the music that goes with it, or if it's, I don't know. Just always something always clicks with it.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head there. It's nostalgic. It builds you up towards that match.
Oh yeah, and when I think of promo packages, like I think of Rock and Austin from 17.
Yeah.
I think of, like Taker and Shawn from 26 and 25, like the promo packages that those matches had were incredible.
And the promo package here is taking us through what we've already been through so far. Royal Rumble, Undertaker wins the championship title opportunity. No Way Out, 07, where Batista turns his back on his own partner just to get one up on the Undertaker.
He pays for it. Yeah, these promo packages were so good back in the day. I'm trying to think of the word, like they just felt huge.
Yeah, it
It
made it
felt
feel
like
like the match is larger than life.
yeah, like two titans, going at it, or two alpha personalities, and they were really good at doing them for Taker. Like even like the promo package for WrestleMania 20 with Kane when Taker wasn't even there. That was a good promo package too, and Taker
Yeah,
wasn't even like there in the lead up. So they always find a way to ace these things.
they do.
Even if the match sucks, you remember the promo package.
And now we get like the look back at Undertaker's career up to this point, 14 and all at WrestleMania, all the people he's conquered. And even outside of WrestleMania, you get Mick Foley, you get Stone Cold, you get Rock, all the legends that he's just faced in his career here at this time. And now but he looks to add Batista to the head count.
Yeah, and I mean 15-0 gives that. He's always adding somebody to the list. He's beaten pretty much everybody. That sit-up was legendary.
That brawl on SmackDown, I remember that brawl on SmackDown.
And Taker sits up right away. Oh, and you got Teddy Long introducing Taker too, which is like just adds icing to the cake.
You gotta have Teddy Long introduced. Love Teddy Long.
A tag team match and then one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Yeah, and Batista, he's going one-on-one with the Undertaker here.
At WrestleMania, which is huge. Yeah, man, I can't believe this was literally like a 15-minute drive from my house. It's crazy.
If only you could have went to it, you could have given us firsthand experience and everything.
I wish. I mean, if I would have had the chance, I definitely would have been there.
This was such a
would have been marking out.
Such a great stage. Like these.
Oh yeah, I love this stage. It even looks like a Ford style stage too for Ford Field.
Yeah, you have all these different points and everything. It's a great stage you did for WrestleMania here.
Yeah, and this was the first stadium in what, 5 years, maybe 4 years, because 2021 and 22 were all in arenas. So this is the first time since I think 18 they were in like a big stadium or park.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it was a nice change of pace, and ever since this WrestleMania, they've been at stadiums.
Yeah, they never went back to an arena.
Yeah, they haven't gone back. I think the only place they would probably ever go back to is MSG. Would probably be the only place that they would ever go back to for a Mania, but
probably
in an arena anyway. But I mean, I don't mind the stadiums though because the sets are always really cool.
Yeah, and I think they probably missed. If anything, they probably should have went back at 30 for Mania for the.
I was thinking they were going to at the time. I thought like every 10 WrestleManias were going to be at Madison Square Garden.
That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, for 30 they put it in New Orleans, but that set was cool too though. Really cool. Like the 3 big X's with the purple and the gold. I thought it looked cool. But, I mean, I liked WrestleManias in arenas because even the wrestlers say like you can hear the crowd more in the arenas.
Of course, because they're more compacted. So,
like I know a lot of the wrestlers, like Edge said, like in the stadiums, like you can't hear anybody.
Yeah, because everything's getting up and dispersed.
Yeah, like I don't know. I've never been in a stadium this big, but I've been in arenas, and I know that the noise in the arenas is really loud. It's incredibly loud. But in stadiums, I don't really know. But hopefully one day I find out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would hope so, unless if it's like the Tokyo Dome, because like in Japan, the fans always stay quiet. It's like a respect thing. Yeah, it's like a respect thing. Like you don't heckle at the wrestlers because it's disrespectful. So you sit and you observe it, and you can clap and applaud, but it's usually deemed unethical to like cheer. Well, you can cheer, but it seems unethical to like boo somebody unless if they're like a really big heel and they do something in the ring that's like really heelish. But So like if you're in the Tokyo Dome that fits like 60 something thousand people and it's silent, I would feel intimidated that nobody's chanting, because here in North America we're so used to people chanting and and cheering that it would feel odd to us to not hear that. Like even when I played hockey, like I could hear people, in the arena, but if I was playing hockey in a stadium and I didn't hear anybody, it would feel so weird.
Undertaker continuing his tradition of Druid entrances ever since WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, I wish that they would have brought back the Druids a little bit more, like going into the later Manias, like in the 30s. Kind of just, I don't know, kind of drifted away from it. Like I thought for Mania 31, it would have been perfect when he came back after the ended, but they just kind of gave him an ordinary entrance for his standards.
Yeah, especially since Bray Wyatt had those people on the ramp, him coming down.
And he entered during the daytime. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like I like the Druids in the entrance with the torches. It just made it look so much bigger than life. Yeah, this is one of my favorite entrances too, because they show him like walking through in the back, like right here in the hall corridor.
And anytime they give you that shot of his silhouette, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I love it, and because he keeps walking straight and then he comes out, a really unique entrance. But again, he always has the best entrances.
He really does.
Always does. Even like his worst entrance is somebody's best entrance. And I like all the fog and the smoke in the air too when he's walking through it. I think that's such a cool visual. He's probably in the best shape of his career here too.
Yeah, he looked great in 07 and 08.
Yeah, he just looked really good, like lean and fast and quick and agile, and he was on fire, man, during that time, like the 07-08 era.
Yeah,
I think he was at his best in ring wise, anyway. Probably in those 2 years, because you had all the matches with Batista and Edge, and then even like he kind of slowed down in 09 in terms of schedule, but you can even add 09 there too if you want to count the Shawn stuff and the Punk stuff. But I mean, like these 2 years to me they were my favorite years of TakeOver 07 and 08, because I love these two feuds that he had. But I mean, again, I was like 6-7 years old when those two happened, so it's kind of holds some kind of sentiment.
Yeah, it does.
Because like I remember, I think like the first feuds I ever remember Taker having as a kid were probably Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Kane, and these two were like the 4 or 5 feuds I remember vividly from when I started watching. Because like even when I started watching when I was like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 2 or whatever I would still go back like and watch the old DVDs, because that's what was on TV all the time. So like, or VHS back in the day too, because we still had those around 2002, 2003. So that's how I remember it. Like the first DVD I ever had as a fan was the 15-0 DVD.
It's a great DVD.
And like the first one that was ever bought for me. Like people in my family had DVDs and stuff like that I would watch, but the first one I think that was ever bought for me was that one, from what I remember. And I rewatched that one until it didn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's a great that one, the Tombstone. I remember having the Tombstone DVD.
I have that one, and I had the buried alive one.
Yeah, yeah. The first thing I ever remember was I talked about on the podcast, the Phenom VHS. Taking way back to 98 when I first got into them. Oh yeah.
Do you collect like every like VHS or DVD that he's been on the cover of?
No, I don't.
I was thinking of doing that down the road, of like collecting like.
That's probably like stuff like I'm gonna be doing at the tail end of my collection, like VHSs that he's on, stadium chairs that he's on.
Cool.
So that's probably like after I'm done with the collectibles, like the action figures and stuff like that. So when I need the next stage of collections, stadium chairs and VHSs.
I was thinking of collecting like old factory sealed VHS tapes and DVDs.
Oh, that's a good one. The only
Like I have the Bret Hart one. But
the only
that's
thing I have is I have the Phenom one.
yeah, that's a great one though. I mean, like I have the Bret Hart documentary from '05, factory sealed from when he kind of came back and was on good terms with Vince. But and then I have a lot of the WrestleManias in factory sealed. I just like to keep them as like a collectible, you know. Like if I can find like a lot of the old like VHS ones of like Bad Blood '97, Revenge of the Taker, you know, and all those ones, I would definitely get those factory sealed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, if I can, I mean, if I can afford it. I mean, hopefully, but oh, there goes Charles Robinson flying. Man, this match started freaking quick.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the match starts right off in a punch. Batista right away spears the Undertaker.
One of the very few times Undertaker wore kick pads too.
There is no holding back here. It's immediately, move after move after move. There's no downtime.
Hey, did you like the kick pad look on Taker?
I did.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't keep wearing them. I think that's one of the very few times he wore them.
The Patton and Undertaker stand up when he get pushed out of the ring.
He always did a great job of selling like when he was dazed.
Yeah, he did.
And then just coming back with like an instinctual punch like right away. Man, this match holds so much nostalgia to me. Boom, right over. He always did a good job at selling the steps too when he went over.
Oh
he
yeah,
got so much hype out flipping over him.
Yeah, his poor knees.
No wonder why he's so banged up, man.
He puts his body on the line.
I hope he was wearing decent enough pads too every time he took that bump.
I love this gear. I love the large skulls with the gray skulls on this.
That's probably my favorite design is the devil skull.
Yeah, it's a great design.
I didn't mind the ones in like 09 or 10 either, like the kind of angelic ones, but I like this one better. Like I like the gear that he had when he came back from Survivor Series 05 with the skull. It had like the white skull with the red and the green in it.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
And then Mark Henry, the year prior, he had the large devil skulls, but they're all in white, so they popped off his tights. That's a good one too.
Yeah, he had some good ones, man. It's like I was always used to see when I started watching wrestling, he had the biker pants.
Yeah.
He was at the tail end of the American Badass era, and then went back to the Dead Man, and he still wore the biker pants. And then eventually, I think around late 04, he started adding the symbol to the side of the pants, like in purple, which I thought looked cool too.
Mm-hmm. I remember the symbol on the pants. That's what he wore at Extreme Rules 19. He had the symbol on his pants.
Yeah, he kind of brought back the old style Taker at the end.
Yeah.
Like in 50, I think he brought him back. And they always look cool on him, man. He always had cool gear.
He did.
There you go, right hands.
Yeah, the Undertaker uppercuts and the soup bones.
Oh yeah, the haymakers, man. Him and Kane, man. They both had great uppercuts. Great strikes.
Great strikes, great clotheslines and DDTs.
Great kicks. Yeah, great boots. They both always. Kane had a good DDT too.
Yeah, he did. The running DDT, that was great.
That was a good spot. The only big difference between their movesets is, well, Kane didn't do old school.
That's right.
It's like one of the very big omissions. And I don't think he did snake eyes either. Instead, like someone would just run at him and he'd kick him as hard as he could. And yeah, the leg drop too. I don't remember Kane doing the leg drop all that often. Kane usually did the elbow drop.
Classics here, all the classics right in a row. There's really no.
Got to bring it out for the animal.
No breathing room here.
Because Kane usually did the elbow drop and Taker did the leg drop instead.
Yeah, and Kane usually did the flying clothesline from the turnbuckle, and Undertaker did it bouncing off the ropes.
Yes. I love that flying clothesline Kane used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, old school.
I like how everybody stands up as he starts it.
He saw Don Jardine do that, and that's where he got that from when he was training. Why he started doing old school. One of the very few times Taker gets outpowered. Right here. And this was the first time they ever faced off on the main roster, from what I remember. Because they did an OVW match in 01 when they were set to piece up, and then they went at it at the Rumble 03 when they were in the Final Four with Brock and Kane, and then after that they just kind of were away from each other up until here. Because I can't remember anything they did together in 04, 05, or 06.
No, because Batista was on Raw.
Yeah, and then when he moved to SmackDown, they had Batista feuding with JBL and Booker T, and then Taker was feuding with, well, the Great Khali. So, and Heidenreich and all those guys too.
And Kennedy.
Yeah, I didn't mind the Kennedy stuff that much. Like, the matches were okay, but I mean, I would have rather have feuded with somebody else.
There's a sign: if Taker loses, we riot, just like the John Cena one from like a year prior.
Yeah, I remember that from the ECW One Night Stand. Yeah, Taker losing at Mania is not ever a good idea. Never has been, never will be.
Yeah, well. Tell that to Vince, what is it, 7 years from this?
Yeah. I never thought it would end. Never did.
It's quite shocking.
I thought especially after the Shawn stuff, it wasn't gonna. They probably would have done Taker and Brock years before anyway if Brock would have stuck around.
Yeah, and then you had to think maybe it would have been broken earlier. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know, because they originally asked Kurt to break it. He didn't want to, and Randy didn't want to do it either.
Yeah, so the thought was around for a while to break it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if Brock would have stuck around after 04, I'm debating on if they would have done that maybe at like 22 or 20 or 27 or something.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I don't think they would have switched this one. And I don't think the Edge match would have got switched because they already planned for that. So, and I don't think the Shawn matches would have got switched.
Here comes I love that. Batista sold that so well.
He flipped over.
He sold it so well, and he caught Undertaker so great there. It was perfect.
And yeah, I think this match surprised everybody. Because I heard rumors that like people didn't think it was going to be a good match or something.
I think I remember that during this time. I remember reading that stuff.
Like, because I go back and I read all the old stuff just to see what it's like in hindsight. And like, listen, when I was 6 years old, I wasn't reading the dirt sheets. I didn't care. Didn't even know they were a thing. But I like to look back at it now. So like, still, even to this day, I'll search up like old WrestleMania plans, like just to see what their plans were at that time. And a lot of people didn't think this match was going to be good.
Well, joke's on them.
Yeah, they ended up having five, six really good matches with each other. So, I mean, I think a lot of people wanted them to do Taker and John Cena.
That would have been great too.
I wouldn't have complained.
No, I wouldn't have.
I mean, if they would have done Taker and Cena at this show, I'm pretty sure it would have been just as good as this. But I mean, they also had how many more years to do Taker and Cena at Mania, and they waited till like the very end. So, I mean, I guess in hindsight, it was a good idea to do Taker and Batista while you had the chance to do it.
Yeah, because like I said, if you would have done Taker Cena, you never know if they would have had Cena break it.
I hope not. But I'm thinking though that if Eddie Guerrero probably would have still been around, this would have probably been the Taker and Guerrero match. That's what I'm thinking anyway. They probably would have been Taker and Guerrero at this Mania. And then I think they would have probably moved Batista back to Raw.
22 would have been Guerrero. You never know.
It could have been. I know that they were planning Eddie and Shawn for 22. That's what I know.
Poor Bellkeeper always gets hit by something.
Oh, always.
Undertaker just making his way through the announcers.
Now they're on the announce table. JR and Jerry Lawler are just sitting there.
Yeah, no, he's going the hard way around.
Yeah, he's just taking everyone down with him. Yeah, like as I was saying though, like Shawn and Eddie was the apparent plan for 22 that they already kind of set in motion before everything happened. But it makes me think like maybe that either one they would have switched it, or two they would have done Taker and Eddie here.
I wonder
Because
how they would have. I wonder how they would have maneuvered that with Michaels on Raw.
Probably the Royal Rumble, like how they did with Shawn and Kurt the year before. That's what I'm thinking, because Kurt was on SmackDown when they did the Shawn and Kurt match. So maybe they would have had them interact at the Rumble, and then like top guy from Raw versus top guy for SmackDown, brand supremacy at Mania.
Possible.
That's what I'm thinking. But I mean, like Taker and Eddie probably would have happened at this show, and then Batista would have probably either gotten moved back to Raw or would have faced maybe Shawn or even Cena. Maybe they would have done Batista and Cena at this Mania and had Batista win the Rumble. I don't know. Or Cena. They could have, because Taker should have won the Rumble a few times before this.
I'm glad Undertaker finally won a Rumble, though. At least they gave it to him here.
Oh, they had to, man. Could you imagine if he would have had his entire career and never won a Rumble? I couldn't have imagined that. I could understand like Money in the Bank in that, because Taker in the Money in the Bank match to me wouldn't make sense. But I mean, Taker not winning a Rumble would have been a crime. And Batista's taking it to him, The power slam through the table, throwing him in the ring, just unloading the right hands.
I know. This is amazing.
Just trying to do anything he can. It's a good story, though, because when you're facing a guy like Taker, the story is that you got to do whatever you got to do to win, or just get by.
You have to. You have to survive.
Even if you're the babyface, you know, you're going to be the crowd designated heel, so might as well do some heelish tactics. Because like even though they were both baby faces here, Batista was the designated heel.
Yeah, ever since turning on him.
Yeah, like the crowd, like I mean, there were still people going for both of them, but I think everybody wanted Taker to win, or at least most people did. Good suplex there. Good belly to belly. Inverted belly to belly, I should say. I like Batista's gear here too. It's another one they should make. I don't think they've made this one either, have they?
I don't think so. The blue? I don't think so.
They made the WrestleMania 21 gear. I know that for the Hall of Champions, but they didn't. I don't think they've made this one.
I think this is the last ride spot, made infamous at the Triple H WrestleMania.
Yes, here we go.
They have that last ride spot in the turnbuckle. It's a staple now in Undertaker matches.
Boom! Put them right down. I always like the last ride better than a power bomb. I thought on the last ride you got more height, more elevation on it.
Yeah, especially Undertaker being 6'10".
Yeah. Remember when he tried to teach Kane the last ride?
I remember that. Against Kai and Tai.
SmackDown.
Great moments, great memories.
Here we go. Oh, what a spine buster.
Batista's so good.
He was awesome in this era, man. Like him and Cena were like the two guys outside of like Taker and Shawn that they were really trying to make like the marquee guys.
It's a shame they don't have people like this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing now is that back then when a crowd wanted a match, it was given to them. You know, or a match that Vince knew would exceed everybody's expectations would happen, like this one. But now it's so repetitive. You know, like not in AEW, because AEW tries a lot of different stuff, but WWE, you know, like they do the same matches like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. It's the same matches every pay-per-view, you know. But I understand now for the pay-per-views, because they don't got to sell pay-per-views to people now that they're on the network, so they kind of just do whatever they want.
That's true.
You know, on the shows. But it's like if they were still selling a pay-per-view to, you know, us for like $40 or $50, then maybe you would get like a WrestleMania size pay-per-view for SummerSlam, or the Royal Rumble. But now it's like every match is the same thing. I don't know if it's because like they're afraid that like something's not gonna work, or whatnot, and they just want to go with something that they know will be okay. I don't know. But back then it's like they took chances, with like every other match. And what a freaking kick out, by the way.
Batista sold that kick out so well.
How good was that Batista bomb?
That was a great Batista bomb.
Like he almost folded Taker in half. Boom, back body drop. Yeah, like I don't know, because like this was the first time they ever faced off on like a big stage. And I think now they wouldn't even try this. But back then, Vince liked to have the challenge of, showing that a match can work and exceed expectations. And this was definitely one that worked. Here we go.
Yes.
Oh. Hey, did you think Batista was going to kick out here?
I think so. I thought he was going to at least do 2.
So did I.
But it's not. 1 and done. 15-0 at WrestleMania. That match, although it's only 15-20 minutes, that match didn't even stop, man.
Because it doesn't slow down.
Yeah, not a slow spot in this match. I swear.
It's like a sprint. It just keeps going and going and going.
And for the first time since WrestleMania 13, 10 years to this date, The Undertaker is successful at WrestleMania for a world championship.
And this was the first time he ever held the big gold belt.
Yes.
From what I remember.
He
never held the big gold belt until this.
The first of 3.
He never did win the spinner belt, though.
No.
That was the one he didn't get. He won the Undisputed title. He won the Old Attitude Era title. He won the Winged Eagle title. And he won the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Which this is my favorite looking title. This one right here.
He didn't win the spinner belt and the new one, the new style belt.
Yeah, the plain one.
Yeah.
Bret Hart hates that title.
I always remember him raising the championship up with the fireworks that's coming up.
Here we go.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, this definitely should have been the main event.
Yeah, just that.
Like Cena and Michaels was good too, but this was the main event. This is what everybody talked about.
The one thing you want in a main event is you want the lasting image, and there really isn't. There's no lasting image with Cena and Michaels, but there's a lasting image here with him with the belt up, and him.
It would have been a perfect way to end the show.
Yeah.
Perfect way to end the show.
Perfect way to end the show. And it basically ends the show for me because I never watch anything past this most of the time.
I mean, I thought the big gold belt looked great with him. Just like the way it looked with Taker, I thought it suited him. Because it's like a wrestling title. It's not like the title's not too overdone. Like it doesn't look too gaudy, like it just looks like a real pro wrestling belt. And I thought it fit perfect with the Dead Man to have that one. Yeah, man, what an image. This should have been the closing of the show.
That's the image.
There we go. Man, if I ever meet him again, I'm going to see if I can get like an 8x10 of that one signed.
It's an amazing image.
It's freaking great. Yeah, and now Undertaker runs SmackDown.
Like you want the lasting image of a main event to be something that people notice on the pay-per-view. Like
yeah, I mean exactly. And I mean he won the Rumble, so I can't see why it shouldn't have gone on last, but which is one thing I've never gotten is that they say the Rumble winner main event's Mania and then goes on in the middle of the card,
but one tombstone does it.
Yeah, I thought, as a kid when I watched this all the time, I thought for sure Batista was going to kick out.
I'm so glad he didn't, though.
But I'm happy he didn't, and you know why? Because it led to more in the feud and told the story if Batista could kick out later on.
Yeah.
which was a good way to keep it going. So one tombstone here was perfect because then it's like you don't have to hit Batista with 4 or 5 of them every match, to make it make sense.
But that lasting image, him fading away into the fog here, looking
great image. Great image. Make this an elite, Mattel, please. Both of them, Batista and Taker. I beg you.
It's great. Such a great match. So nostalgic. So just everything wonderful that you want in a WrestleMania match. Undertaker Batista delivers it.
There we go.
As he fades away into flame and fog, we get ready for our next installment next time, where Batista issues a rematch challenge.
Simple and effective.
At Backlash 2007, but not just an ordinary match for The Undertaker and Batista. No, Batista wants a last man standing match. And that is where we pick up next time on our watch along schedule. Final thoughts on the match, Keegan. What did you think?
Wish I would have been there live.
I know.
I really wish, even if I was 6, I wish I would have been there live too.
Yeah, I agree. I really wish I was here to witness this live as well. It is one of my favorite pay-per-view events. Just WrestleMania, pay-per-views in general. I love that iconic image of him with the belt. Like you said, the belt looks so great on him.
The World Heavyweight belt is great.
I love the whole story of him winning the Rumble and then him finally capturing it at WrestleMania. It's a wonderful story that they told here. And just what follows afterwards, the great last man standing match, the steel cage match, Cyber Sunday, Armageddon, this whole year of Batista. It's something that I love rewatching this rivalry, and I love watching WrestleMania. It's an amazing match. I love it. And parting words for anybody listening to us. I hope that you have watched this along with us. And if not, please go watch it because it is one of Undertaker's best WrestleMania matches.
Absolutely. And since it's WrestleMania season, it would make sense to watch it now if you're going to rewatch some of the all-time great WrestleMania matches. For parting words, I would say, if you know me on Twitter, follow Steven Collect Up Dead on Twitter. And like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm not good at the YouTube stuff, but I tried to memorize it the best I could. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, thank you so much, Keegan. If you don't follow Keegan on Twitter, make sure to follow him at Keegan RW so you can get all of his insights into his eventual pro wrestling career and all the pro wrestling that's happening, whether it's WWE, AEW, or anything else in between. Keegan gives you his thoughts, his predictions, and it's just awesome to see what he has in his mind, trying to get see what's going on your TVs. So
you really put me over.
I am. You deserve to put over, Keegan. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me here. I cannot wait for Backlash 2007, our next installment. And as I say here each and every time, thank you for joining me here for another look back at Undertaker memories and matches. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at CollectUpDead. Make sure to follow Keegan on Twitter at KeeganRW. And same Taker time, same Taker channel. As always, keep on rolling, baby, as we keep heading along that journey through Death Valley. And we'll make our next stop, Backlash 2007, Last Man Standing. Batista wants his rematch. And boy, will they give each other everything they've got next time. So thank you again, Keegan, as always.